Thank you for joining us for another edition of the Condor Chat. We have some exciting Condor updates for you on this fine afternoon. My name is Joe Burnett. I am Condor Program Coordinator for Ventana Wildlife Society. And the Condor Chats have become a great way for myself and the crew and us here at Ventana to update you on what's happening with the condor population here in Central California. We've been doing these Condor Chats now 4 years. I think our 4-year anniversary is coming up. Mike, am I close on that one, you think?
That's incredible.
I know, isn't that crazy?
It just boggles my mind.
I know. These were born out of the COVID times, and pretty amazing. They've just kept going. They've just been such a great way to tell folks what's happening.
Yep.
But yeah, we have an exciting Condor Chat today. Before I get into it too much, though, Mike and Darren can jump in here, but we had our exhibit opening ceremony on July 13th. And I wasn't able to attend, but I heard it was pretty awesome. You guys want to jump in? You, Darren and Mike, you were there.
Yeah, it was cool to just to meet sort of this side of Ventana, all the folks who are a lot of donors, a lot of folks who've contributed to putting together the Discovery Center and just supporting Ventana in other ways. Like state parks had people there too. So this opening was kind of a nice culmination of a lot of things coming together and just showing sort of the rewards of a lot of hard work. So it was just really cool to meet the donors, meet other supporters, and then meet the state parks folks who were who were there to see it and also enjoy the exhibit. Because this partnership with them was a big deal to us.
Yeah, big time. I mean, state parks is such an important partner. This is also the area where we store really critical condor equipment. Actually, right behind in the photos here, you see Kelly standing below the Discovery Center sign, addressing everyone there. But we have a tool shed storage area. That's actually where we store our condor food. It's really, really critical. So big shout out to California State Parks. And Mike, you took these photos. Is that Jessica French, right? Was she?
That is Jessica French, the artist of the display. She did a fabulous job, and her depiction of the Big Sur Rivermouth is
Oh, it's awesome.
It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun just to look at that mural and try to identify the 30 species of wildlife that she depicted in that one scene. And so she is pictured here receiving a copper plaque of the condor in appreciation of her monumental efforts to finish this display. And so glad that it's finally installed and open to the public on weekends through Labor Day.
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work. Big shout out to Kathy Hamilton. You and Mike, you help with a lot of the text, and Kathy with all the design, and Jessica came together with this amazing. You can see some of it in this photo, but yeah, you got to be there in person to see it. It's definitely some of the best scientific illustrations I've seen. So she's got a real gift. So yeah, I recommend folks getting down there at Andrew Miller State Park. It's a beautiful spot. This time of year is amazing. And again, on the weekend we have right now we have Ben, right? Ben will be there to interpret and help you out with the exhibit, get you in there, and if you want to buy some merchandise too. So yeah, that was exciting. So moving on to the condors. We got a full agenda here today. I'm gonna give a quick update on the rebuild. Mike's gonna tell us a little bit about what's happening with non-lead. Yeah, and we'll give an update on HPAI, what's happening with the population. We have some news on Bucky and an update on Tiger. And of course, the most exciting right now is the nesting season is in full swing. We have some great stuff there. And then of course, we want to talk about our new nest camp, because I think when we talked last time, it was just about to go live. So hopefully folks have been getting on time, getting on there to see the news chick. Again, the crew we got today, we have Mike Stake, our non-lead outreach program manager. We have Darren Gross and Kara Fadden here from the field crew, which is always awesome. They're going to give us frontline info on what's happening out there with the birds in the field. We do not have Danae with us. She's going to hopefully be with us next month. Danae is not with us for this Condor chat, but here in spirit. Also want to recognize Evan McGreeth. He actually provided us a map today, despite being very busy. We have some news there. And of course, all the rest of the staff and, you know, Tim Huntington. We now have a student researcher, Valerie. And of course, Derek, who helps Mike with non-lead outreach. And of course, Amy Wells, our superstar veterinarian who helps us out. Yeah, big team, and takes every single one of these folks, and honored to work with everybody. Yeah, and these photos, we're going to get more into this. These are some of the photos from from the vaccinations, which are in full swing right now. And we've used it as an opportunity to get our volunteers out there to participate. So we'll get more into that. And in the biggest news, we have a new Condor Crew member, Maverick Jameson McGreeth. Evan is a proud papa. Evan and Amanda, his wife. Pictured on the left there, we are all smiling ear to ear. He just came into this world. So Evan has been, despite being busy changing diapers and swaddling Maverick, he found time to give us an awesome map today. So thank you, Evan, and congratulations to you, buddy. The photo on the right, I just can't even describe. It's just beyond cute. It's just awesome. So we're happy to see the Condor family expanding, our human Condor family. Yeah. So pretty awesome. So congrats to you, Evan. The rebuild's coming along nicely. We're getting insulation inside. It's starting to look like the interior work's starting to happen, and they're almost ready to pour the back ADA ramp to get into the cabin. A lot of staging and work to be on that side. A lot of detail work happening right now before they move on to the next phases. So yeah, we're really excited seeing the cabin take shape. And of course, the hot weather's been inhibiting some of the progress, but yeah, it's amazing. These guys are still pushing through it. But yeah, we're in high time fire season, so we're on alert up there all the time. And red flag days, we try to avoid going up there, just because you're kind of stuck out in the middle of nowhere. All right, Mike, got a non-lead program update for us.
Joe, we're giving away a lot of ammo. You know, I get emails from local stores with their cute little promotions, 4th of July bonanza or the Mother's Day Madness sale, but we're slashing prices every day of the year, and that price is zero. Honestly, Joe, we should be raising an American flag big in the parking lot. Our logo should be on the side of a bus or a bullet train or, oh, all right, I'm getting a little excited here. There's reason for enthusiasm. This is a very unique, one-of-a-kind program, and it's making a difference with hunters, really improving how they view Ventana Wildlife Society, and also being a little more sympathetic toward the plight of the condor. Our grant funds allow us to cover the whole range of the condor. So this week on Tuesday and Wednesday, I was traveling in Ventura County, California, down south, and I had appointments with 11 different hunters in various places, and most of them were new to the program, so that's certainly good. I'll be doing the same in Kern County, California next week. And then closer to home, I've received requests from 2 different ranches in the highest risk area for condors in San Benito County, and I hope to visit them next week. So these are good trends. This is good momentum toward getting ammunition out in the right places. Let's look at the next slide, Joe, and see the bad news. And that is that the last manufacturer of non-lead 22 has discontinued their product. That's Norma. They have followed CCI in discontinuing their non-lead 22. And so that leaves no one right now manufacturing non-lead 22. This is the most common caliber used for shooting ground squirrels and controlling small non-game mammals on rural ranches. And so no sugarcoating it. This is not good news. And so you'll see Ventana Wildlife Society figuring out ways to work through this. And some of the areas that we might venture into, communicating with manufacturers and trying to encourage them to make more non-lead products, to develop a non-lead 22, possibly find some incentives for them to do that. Also, maybe trying to promote alternative calibers like the very good 17 HMR that ranchers use to control ground squirrels. So there are other options. And it might get down to some good old-fashioned letter writing. I had some addresses for these companies on here. I don't see them. But
I might have, yeah.
I would encourage you to reach out to these companies, CCI and Norma Precision, and write to them and tell them how you think that non-lead 22 should be available in California, where the law actually mandates it. And so we're going to work on this. We're going to develop strategies on trying to get 22 back on the market, and also in the short term, trying to find alternatives for rural ranchers to control ground squirrels in their property without 22. And that will be a challenge, and we'll see how that goes. That's something to be concerned about, but yet I want to still be optimistic, still be enthusiastic, because I'm reminded of another 22. Remember, Joe, in the early 80s when there were just 22 condors?
Yep.
Once people found out that there were so few condors, that really jump-started the recovery efforts to where biologists and conservationists were able to save the species. Non-lead 22 has been off the market a lot in recent years. It will disappear for months at a time. At least now we know it's clear that they are not making it. And so people will understand why we have a problem right now. And so maybe that will be the jumpstart that we need to improve the situation.
Yeah, and Mike, for folks that want to get that address, we could probably put it on the website later, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we might organize something a little more in terms of communicating with those manufacturers. So I want to thank our grant funders for providing the money to purchase this ammunition to give to hunters, and also to pay for our time in distributing the ammo.
Yeah,
Thank you to the 2,500 hunters who have participated in our program. And thanks to you, our members, for your support. How do I know that you support us? Well, we asked you before we pulled the trigger on any of this, and you said in a survey that you understood, you get it, and you stand with us in this extraordinary step we're taking to reduce lead exposure for condors. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. It is, you hit it right on a nutshell there. It's our biggest challenge. It's, you highlight the complexities of this. It's just not as simple as just banning lead. If you don't have that availability, it's a big stumbling block. So here we are, after a big rain year, we know there's more ground squirrels than we've seen in a long time, and just the timing of it's not ideal. But again, yeah, thanks for the update, Mike. That was really good stuff. All right, moving on to HPAI, another challenge for us, HPAI vaccinations. For those of you that have been joining us on our recent chats, we've been giving updates on this. But again, just to recap, our objective right now for myself and the crew, we're trying to vaccinate, and with our partners at Pinnacles, trying to vaccinate the entire Central California population over the next 1 to 2 years. To do that, we figured out we're going to have to vaccinate 8 condors every 1 to 2 months. When these birds get trapped, they'll be held for at Monterey SPCA. Big shout out to Monterey SPCA for a 21-day vaccine cycle. And that again is similar to when everyone had to get their COVID shots. It's a prime. There's a prime and a booster in a 21-day window between. So those, from start to finish, the condors are in captivity for, it comes out to about almost a month that they're pulled out of the wild to get this protection against HPAI. And of course, it is nesting season. We're avoiding trapping our adults that are actively nesting and busy raising chicks. So that's a no-brainer there. Current vaccination status, really great news. We are at 28 of 100 condors vaccinated in Central California as of today. 10 condors just completed their vaccination cycle. The last couple, since the last update. Stud books are listed here: 921, 956, 990, 996, 1011. Indico's in there: 1031, 957, 995. 626 and 1006 they came in and got trapped for vaccination. We found out they had high lead. They successfully received treatment from Oakland Zoo. Big shout out to Oakland Zoo for taking care of the birds. And really good news, 626 is back out at her nest and has returned, and it looks like everything's going well there. We're crossing our fingers. Her in 729. We'll have more info on that later in the update, on the nesting update portion of this. And then 1006 is due to come out pretty soon. And we have some cool stuff to show. This was really cool. Big smiles on 2 of our volunteers here, Jan and Mary. Words can't even describe how stoked they were. And I was glad to be there with them, seeing them hold their first condor. And so it was really awesome to get some of our volunteers involved and seeing how we do these vaccinations over at SPCA. And it's a team effort. I keep saying that every chat. It really is. And the crew can attest. It's just, we couldn't do it alone. We need everybody. We need Oakland Zoo. We need Pinnacles. We need Amy Wells, and here SPCA gave us a beautiful spot to do this. So pretty awesome to see everyone collaborate and come together. So it was a really good day. This is a day we were given the final boosters to birds before they went out and got released. So it's always a good day when these birds are about to go back out in the wild. We're all ear to ear smiles. I think I can say that wholeheartedly. And it is a beautiful sight when they go out, and it was more appropriate that it timed with July 4th. So me and Darren got to go up and let these birds rip. And we had Meredith up there, and Tim Huntington, and Meredith came along with her camera and took some amazing video. She actually posted it recently on Instagram, but I posted it here again that we can watch it again. Pretty awesome to see these birds taking flight and going free after having to, go through the HPAI vaccination cycle. So it's always nice to share what we see in person. It's a momentous day, not only for 4th of July, but today we returned 6 condors to the wild in Big Sur. These 6 condors were captured 3 weeks ago for HPAI vaccination. Yesterday we gave them their boosters, and today they are flying free again, and on probably the most appropriate day. So we're going to celebrate that, and as well we're going to celebrate it with our partners. This took a village to make this happen, and obviously I want to give a big shout out to Monterey SPCA. They allow us to house the quarantine pens that we're vaccinating the birds. We also get huge help from our partners at Pinnacles, who aid us in the recovery of condors in Central California. And we want to thank all their crew. And of course, Dr. Amy Wells, our awesome veterinarian who goes above and beyond for these condors every day. And she came out to vaccinate them, and also the crew at Oakland Zoo. Again, a huge team effort. We can't thank everyone enough. And of course, we want to thank you. And let's just celebrate today. What a great day to bring birds back out to the wild. Thanks, everyone. Another awesome video by Meredith. we're gonna get Meredith on the next Condor chat, by the way. She's gonna have some she's been getting out to the nest sites, and we're gonna have some cool footage to share. Yeah, so this is 1006. Big shout out to Oakland Zoo again. This bird took a little longer to get ready. Obviously, we had 626 on the fast track because we wanted to get her back out to the nest. And yeah, what's the status, Darren? Kara, this bird is coming back tomorrow.
I think, yeah, the 28th. I think, is that Sunday? I forget.
Oh, Sunday, that's right.
Yes, coming back to the cruise. The Pinnacles crew are gonna go grab him or him, and then release him back in Pinnacles. But yeah, we're ready to get that bird back out too. And that bird will be done with like totally vaccinated as well, which will be awesome.
Yeah, this will close the loop on this last batch we just did.
Yeah.
When 1006 gets back out there. So yeah, and then we'll start preparing for the next round to trap up for vaccinations. But yeah, progress wise, we're way ahead of schedule. So we're pretty happy with that. And that again goes big kudos to the folks I work with here, to Darren and Kara and Danae, who have made it all happen. You know, got to sit up there in the trap and wait for those birds to come in. It's a lot of work. So good time to recognize these guys for everything they do. They definitely love these birds. Oh, this is great, Darren. I want you to...
Yeah. So one of the ways we monitor the birds at while we're holding them at SPCA during the vaccination period is that we have these cellular trail cameras that send us photos on our phones, and it also picks up all the other critters that are there. And so yeah, there's a healthy population of other raptors and aerial predators on that little spot at SPCA where we have the birds. And so yeah, this camera caught a red-tailed hawk as it was coming in, looking like it was about to get something. And yeah, just thought this was a cool photo to share with you all. That yeah, just got this awesome mid-flight, mid-swoop photo of a red-tailed coming in.
Yeah, super cool shot. But yeah, we all know how many rodents there are around there. Good Lord.
Yes.
It's a bumper year for ground squirrels and rodents with all the rain we've had out here last couple of years. So yeah, lots of food for these raptors.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the population update. Yeah, we're still at 99. Knock on wood, everything is cruising along. We have our 9 chicks in nest. We have our release rookies kind of moving past the rookie. I think they're almost graduated. What do you guys think? I think they're getting close to, we can't call them rookies anymore.
I know, because the new rookies are about to take their place.
Yeah, and we have rookies arriving in September. We have 6 birds that will be newbies coming up. Pinnacles will be getting 6 as well. So we're going to be adding 12 additional release birds on top of hopefully 9 chicks in the wild. So we're going to see a big bump in the population this year. We're pretty darn excited. And again, we still are climbing back from when we lost all those birds in the Dolan fire 4 years ago. God, that was a huge setback, but it's nice to see the population bouncing back. So we're happy we're getting beyond where we were and further beyond that. So that's even great. Condor deaths, none so far in 2024, but we do have some missing birds from 2023, still 171, 477, and 937. And then more recently, we have a bird that we're hoping we can find, but it's been a month for 1144. So keep your fingers crossed there. We're going to send up another aerial flight. We're going to track in some other spots. We haven't exhausted our effort there. And again, we're, one scenario is that bird just basically may have, its transmitters may have gone dead, So that's the other part of it. Maybe Darren, you can speak to this, or Kara.
Yeah, I can go ahead first here, but yeah, 1144 tigers was one of the birds that we released from San Simeon at the end of last year. And so he was spending a lot of time in June around the Plaskett area in southern Big Sur, and we had homeowners living in that area sending us photos like these of him perching in trees, and like with another condor too. In that photo on the right there is another condor. I think 994 Sirius was with him. And yeah, he was spending time down there and like looking good in the photos. And like when folks were reporting that they were seeing him. And then the last time that he was seen down there by one of the homeowners was June 25th. And shortly after that, one of our tracking volunteers picked up his signal while tracking the coast in northern Big Sur. And since then, there have been no detections for him. So we've been just out tracking the coast every day we can, going down to the Plaskett area when we can, which is tough right now given the Highway 1 closure. Just takes a lot more time to get over there. But yeah, just trying to track for him in any areas where he's spent time, like San Simeon too. Like there's still other members from his release cohort that are spending time around San Simeon and the surrounding areas. So just tracking all over. We sent up our partners at Lighthawk that they help us out in finding missing birds and helping us confirm nests and things like that. They recently did a flight for him going over the Plaskett area and the coast and did not pick up his signal. So we're talking about getting another flight going with them to track some other areas where the whole flock spends time, like further up in northern Big Sur and some other zones, just to keep going with the search to find them.
Yeah, we'll keep looking around.
I was going to say, Bucky made it to Big Sur, which I think
Woohoo!
anybody who's watching the Explore cams has noticed. But we are very proud of Bucky, 1087, who was released in 2022? It only took like 2.5 years for him to get there, but he did it. So he's back in San Simeon now. But anyways, yeah, he kind of went off on his own little journey, took a little vacation to LA Zoo for a little bit, but then eventually made it up to Big Sur. And you can kind of see him here with 219, who's kind of one of the more dominant birds, and he's fitting in just fine. So we'll see if he comes back. Hopefully he does. But other than that, like he's kind of just doing his own thing, but we're all really proud of him.
Yeah, he held his own. I was surprised. He really was pretty confident and comfortable on the slope with all these other these big birds around, 219 and others, you know.
I know, I'm
But
trying
yeah,
to.
and then you left.
Then he left. He was like, that
He
place
got
is
homesick.
too crowded. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
we'll see.
definitely good.
I was gonna say, we'll see. He still has a working GPS unit on him, so we're following him very closely to kind of see where he's hanging out and what he's doing. But yeah.
All right, nesting update. Yeah, this keeps coming up. We're obviously, it's still early, but we're getting excited. The previous high number of fledglings we've had in a given year is 5, and we've had that quite a few years, 2015, 2019, 2020, 2021. But we've never crested that five chick mark, and we're really hoping we crest it this year, and it's looking good so far. So keep your fingers crossed and just keep rooting for these chicks. Yeah, if we end up with 9 fledged, that would, you know, be a big time boost to the population, and again, just really it's going to just really get the flock into another realm of production, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I think this is the year, but again, we do have a little ways to go, and yeah, we have some exciting updates on what's happening. Darren and Kara are going to get into it here. Pinnacle's nest, boy, Pinnacles is just
Hey, Joe.
fire this year.
Joe, when those 9 birds fledge, is that when they become numbered with the 99?
Yes.
Okay, as soon as
Yeah,
they
yeah, when they're in the nest, they're not technically counted part of the population until they fledge and they're actually part of the free flying flock. So that's pretty standard. We've been doing it that way for years, and I think that's across the board with bird populations.
So keep my fingers crossed for a nearly 10% increase
Yeah,
here in the near term.
pretty awesome. So yeah, fingers crossed and toes. All right, who's tackling Pinnacles here? They're busy over there.
I can start. I know. I think Pinnacles, their season started a little earlier than ours, and every single week I feel like they were like, we have another nest, we have another nest, and we were all just blown away. And then we were, of course, shortly after that with all of our nests. So yeah, they're down, or not down, but they have 5 active nests right now. I think since the last chat, 726, and who's 726 with?
I think it's a 692.
692, yes. So unfortunately, their chick is no longer part of this nesting season. They went to go do a nest entry and kind of had no evidence of the chick, kind of just like disappeared. So probably predation, but I don't think anyone will ever kind of know exactly what happened there. But these 5 are still going strong. They continue to do kind of nest entries on these chicks, and everybody's looking good. Even like the remote nests they're still showing good GPS behavior to like confirm that the nests are still going. And I think they just recently did a nest entry on, yeah, these guys. So this is the trio. So these are 2 females that we still don't know which female laid the egg. So this photo is from Gavin over at Pinnacles when they enter the nest last Sunday. And you see both of these females are really doing their job, and they don't want him in there at all. And it was cool. They were saying, or the Pinnacles crew was saying, how they were making a lot of dinosaur noises and like pig squeals. So it's just shows more and more that these birds came from dinosaurs, and yeah, they're just like continuing to blow us away, I think, this season.
Yeah, they have really reptilian vocal, not technically vocalizations, but sounds. Like
Yeah.
hissing, like we've all heard him hiss. You hear him grunt, and then they make this high-pitched squeal sound, that sounds like a pig squealing.
Yeah.
Generated differently, obviously, but yeah, and then they do these other, yeah, when you're in their nest, they aren't happy, obviously, and they make all sorts of sounds, but yeah, fortunately, it's the nest entries are pretty quick, in and out kind of deal. And again, for this, like you were saying, Kara, once that chick is, they get a blood sample on the chick, we can send that in for DNA, and we can confirm which female actually produced the egg. So,
which I think they
that'd be
took.
exciting.
Yeah, this past nest entry, they were able to get some blood. So I think we should figure out genetics of
gender,
this
yeah.
chick soon. Yeah, and gender soon. But yeah, it's cool to see these 2 ladies like team up, because we still don't know which one laid the egg. So yeah,
But equally protective, which is really cool. Because
totally.
we know one of them didn't lay that egg, and look how
Right.
strongly they're protecting their nest. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And this is why they were protecting it.
And this is that chick that they're protecting. So this is chick 1310 at 60 days old, and it weighed 8 pounds. So it's definitely still growing, but you can tell that's a condor chick, and it's all cute and fluffy.
And that's textbook. 2 months. They literally, over the years, when we weighed nestlings every month, 1 month they're 4 pounds on average. 2 months they're 8 pounds. They literally double in weight. 3 pound, 3 months they're 12 pounds, and then 4 months 16 pounds, and then when they get up around 5-6 months, they hit full grown. They get that 20-pound mark, and 18 to 20 pounds. But it's crazy how incremental it is. And like when they said this bird was right on the money at 8 pounds, it was just really cool. But this photo, I mean, Gavin takes such amazing photos, and this one, I mean, just speaks. I could just stare at this photo for a while. There's so much going on. Me and Darren were looking at it earlier, and the feet were cracking me up, because they almost they don't look proportional, but they're really stubby, chubby little feet. It's just it's just a great, God, it's such a great photo. That guy, he's gonna have to publish a book of photos when he's all done, said and done.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
It's
Gavin.
cool though, you can see
share
that.
this with everybody.
I know, they're such great photos. And you can see that chick is really trying to be as big as it can, being like, I'm gonna get you, but it's still little.
Yeah, so this chick's looking great. I mean, that is beautiful. All right, Big Sur.
And do you want to take this, Darren?
Yeah, I'll go for it. But I might tag you in at the end here, Kara.
Totally.
But yeah, so starting with we still have 4 active nests in total. Starting with 729 Ninja and 626. As Joe was saying earlier, 626 Was treated at Oakland Zoo for lead poisoning in June. Thankfully, that treatment was pretty quick. They were able to give her the first HPAI Vax dose, and then get her back out into the wild a few days later. And yeah, she's kind of spent some time like just reacclimating while she was out in the wild, but then pretty quickly returned to her nest. And we're seeing her in 729 still returning to the nest territory very regularly. I was coming down from being in Big Sur this morning and was checking out that nest territory, and 729 was flying up and just about to leave. So yeah, still a lot of activity going on there,
Great
which is,
sign.
yeah, yeah. It's a very remote nest. We can't actually like see it to check on the chick, and like get visuals of the chick, but following 729 and 626 this closely, like Joe just said, it's a great sign that they're doing well, and that chick 1309 is doing really well. Yeah, 652 Ferdinand and Pinnacles Bird 550. This chick 1315 has been very active in the nest. It's one that we're able to hike out to and get great visuals of. And we have some more exciting news on that nest coming up here too. But yeah, Meredith's actually who puts together all of our awesome videos in other media. She's out there getting more footage of that chick today. Because
Yeah, I hope she's getting some good stuff.
yeah, it's growing up quick. And yeah, just becoming more and more visible, like peeking up out of the cavity, and we see it hopping around and stretching its wings in there. And yeah, just seeing the feathers grow in and everything is just really cool. So yeah, that nest is doing great. 881 Minerva and 209 Shadow. Their chick is 1317. And yeah, that again, this is another like really remote nest, even more remote than Ninja's and 626's nest. And 881 is a GPS, so we've been following her movements, and she's still going back to the nest regularly. Again, which is a great sign for how that chick is doing. And yeah, they're both parents are very active and going and getting food for themselves and bringing food back to the nest. So yeah, just really positive signs with that nest as well. Yeah, and then 470 Fuego and 962 Sato. I think Carol, I'll throw this to you because you were just out there checking.
Yeah, I actually just hiked out there today. So I was out there earlier this morning, and according to like signals and stuff, this nest is still going fine. When I was there, nobody was there, but we're not concerned about that. I was only there for about an hour. So it was a relatively short kind of nest observation. And as I said, we're still signaling the pair in that area, and it seems like they're still attending just fine. Also, that chick is about a month younger than kind of our very active 1315. And this is a new nesting tree as well, that we don't really know the depth of it. We don't know a lot about this tree. So it could be a really deep cavity, and we're not going to really see that chick until they kind of get more. Yeah, can't tell how deep it is. So we might not see the chick until they grow another month or two, and kind of start being more active and hopping out up top there like their parent is. But yeah, still another nest that is going, and yeah, we're excited to see all these chicks grow more and more.
That's where those nests, it's a pain for us because we can't see into them, but it is actually really great because it really protects these chicks.
Exactly.
Not only from, just you've got other predators around there, owls and eagles that could come through and pick them off. So these, the more hidden it is, the better, but it does make it tough for us.
Yeah, I know.
But
and
yeah,
I
we
was
do. I mean, you were kind of nailing on how much we lean on those. We always talk about the transmitters we put on these birds, but the radio transmitters and the GPS transmitters are just really helpful for us to help kind of make sure the nests are still going, because it's just so hard to monitor some of these nests. Even when you're right on top of them, you can't necessarily confirm it. So just over the years, we've gotten in a good pattern of seeing these different radio signal patterns and GPS patterns. We can confidently say nests are still going, but yeah, but sometimes we don't even see the chick until it leaves the nest.
Right.
Right.
And yeah, I think kind of doing nest observations too is you sometimes get lucky, whereas maybe one of the parents came and fed the chick like 30 minutes before I was there and then booked it somewhere. And then the chick took a good old nap. So like, it's kind of, lucky if you get to see
Meredith
it.
is learning that as she goes.
Exactly.
With the camera stuff, she's like, it didn't happen today. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes
I
they
know
just don't give it to you.
Yeah, you could sit there for like 4 hours and see nothing, or you could get there and set up and see something right away. It's kind of
Yeah.
luck of the
On
draw.
condor time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I skipped over a slide. Evan put together an awesome map, which is amazing because he's got a newborn, and Darren is going to tackle this one.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
laughing at us right now.
Yeah.
He's like, "Good luck, guys."
He's like,
Exactly.
"Did you guys even look at my slide before you put it in?" We actually did. Evan,
Yeah,
if you're listening, Evan, we did.
we did study it a little bit. But yeah, again, just big shout out to Evan. Thanks as always for his maps, especially, you know, with everything he has going on. I mean, we met with him yesterday and he asked if we wanted a map, and we're like, oh, you know, I don't know, like you've got a lot going on, man. Don't worry about it if you can't get to it. And he's like, oh, I'll see if I can put something together. And then yeah, of course he
This is what we
slaps
get.
together
So
this
awesome.
This beautiful thing, yeah.
yeah, this awesome map, and yeah, it's awesome graphics. But yeah, going back to 881 Minerva and 209 Shadows Nest. And Evan put together this map based on 881's GPS data, kind of showing her movements since their chick 1317 hatch, just to show you how far 881 is going to get food and just like forage for their chick and yeah, just to take care of that nest. So yeah, the chick hatched on May 14th. And so this is showing her data, or this is a collection of her data from May 14th through July 24th, yesterday. The on a daily basis, she's traveling a lot. The maximum that she traveled in a day during this time period was 98 miles, which is quite a bit. In total, she's traveled 2,125 miles, which is insane.
That's insane.
Yeah, just for like just over a 2 month period. That's I don't know. I can't even fathom that distance. I don't know what to compare it to. But yeah, it's a lot.
Almost the length of the United States.
I was gonna say, I think that's like coast to coast
There you
approximately.
go. All right. Yeah, that's just crazy. But yeah, a lot of her detections outside of what we can pick up from her GPS data and radio signals are visuals, and she's still spending a lot of time coming to our Big Sur sanctuary. You can see on the map in the right here, the Big Sur sanctuary is that graphic that's the VWS logo there. Yeah, thank you, Joe. On the left side there in the middle. And you can also see where Pinnacles National Park and then where San Simeon is. And you can see that this range that she's covered in this just over 2 month period is hitting all of those locations and beyond. And yeah, to kind of like summarize that, like this area, this home range for 881 over this time period, it's 2,742 square miles, which again is just
It's like the size of Rhode Island. Yeah.
just
Yeah, cool.
nuts. Yeah, so it's just so yeah, this is such a cool like collection of data to represent like what 881 and really all these other nesting birds and nesting females are doing to care for their chicks and keep their nests going. And then just to touch on the graph down here at the bottom, this is just showing the daily travel distance. And so you can kind of see it's not like she's necessarily traveling a huge distance every day. But it kind of comes in these like regular waves. There's this pattern where she's spending a few days like traveling quite a bit, and then some days where she's not really traveling much at all, which could be when she's back at the nest caring for the chick.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you can see, it's not every day that she's on the move, but yeah, just sort of a pattern of big movements on a regular basis.
You know, and on the flip of that, you got 209 probably doing the same thing. So combined effort for a pair, you know, that's
Yeah.
unbelievable. The amount
Yeah.
of time and energy they put into raising this one chick. It's
Yep.
just mind blowing.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say I signaled her from Fremont Peak yesterday, so she's
On
moving.
the move.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know that sanctuary, those visuals, that's the Explore viewers. So big shout out to them, you know, watching those cams. They're seeing they're spotting her in 209, and so valuable to us because it frees us up to go out in the field and track. And so again, big help to us. It's a great way to help our cause here and keep an eye on these birds. It's a big thank you to Explore.
Mhm.
Anything else you guys want on this? This is such a great slide.
I
There's
know
a
I'll
lot
think,
here.
yeah, I know I'll think of something later, but yeah, I think
Yeah, but thanks, Evan. We appreciate it, buddy.
big thanks, Evan.
Yeah, and we all looked at this classic shot of a redwood nest. All right. And last chat, we had just almost gotten the cam going, but it actually wasn't live. So for folks that have been following it, the cam is now live. Karen and I went out there and set everything up right before the last chat. We had just set up all the equipment and we were working with Explore to get the live feed going. And right after that, we got it going, and it's been pretty darn exciting watching another nest. It was unfortunate that we had Redwood Queen and 650 in their nest, and Zenith and Aurora, that nest failed. So this was nice to have another nest to watch. It's pretty far away, but you can see what's going on. Again, it's the max limit on this camera. We're maxing it out, and but you can still see what's going on. And again, we have Meredith out there actually getting higher resolution with our in-house camera. She's getting this amazing 4K, 6K actually, 6K footage of the chick, and she's doing that right now. And she has a video she shared with us that she put together, and we're going to update this video next month. But with the chick's growth and some of the footage she's gathered so far. So I'm going to cue up this awesome video. Thank you, Meredith. It's a really good one. My God, I love the final shot with the chick stretching its beak out.
Yeah, that's such an awesome video.
Yeah, so let's hope she got some good stuff today. And for folks watching that have started watching the cam, we actually the Explorer viewers tipped us off that 1315 had jumped up on the ledge of the nest cavity, and I was able to go back into the archive and find that actual clip and put it in here. So we're gonna go ahead and do this too. This hasn't been edited by Meredith, doesn't have any cool music. It's just gonna be good old-fashioned video, but enjoy. Okay, start playing. There we go. This is funny, the chick doing zoomies. Chick is thinking about it. And make the leap. There it goes. Wow. Look at that.
Short-lived.
I like just plopped back down. Oh my God. You gotta love those clips. Yeah, you can see definitely not the quality that Meredith gets, but it's pretty cool that we're able to get this video feed out in the first place. Kara was out there, and Darren, no, it's way out there, and just the fact that we're able to get this video stream out is a miracle. So
Yeah.
we're glad we can share it with everyone, because this is really the magic of nesting, watching these chicks grow up, and and then they fledge from the nest and go on, and we watch them for years, and then they start to nest on their own. It's like a condor family, you can't help but just root for them. So yeah, we hope 1315 has a life in front of it. And yeah, this is just the start.
Mhm.
But yeah, God, it's such a funny video. I love when they just start spinning.
Yeah.
We all call it the zoomies. It's the best way to describe it. Just the birds just get all this energy and just kind of start going crazy in the nest. It's pretty funny. All right. You got some actual condor nesting season themed stickers. We mentioned them at the last chat, but I just wanted to let everyone know we have a cool little store, and you get this artwork is really great by Morgan Lewis. Really, really cool stickers. So if you get a chance, go check those out. And again, at our website there. And this is also a website, go check out the cam, you know, in between watching the cam, check out the store, you know, you can, lots of info on the website for sure. And now, Mike, how many questions we got, buddy?
Oh, we have a few. Thanks, Joe. For those of you interested in the addresses of those manufacturers, I put it in the chat. You'll have to scroll up quite a bit, but I also put it on the question and answer panel. If you click on the Q&A and then go to the answered, those addresses are there. Hopefully you can find those, and we would welcome any of you to write a letter and let CCI and Norma know that production of non-lead-22 is important to Californians. I'm going to get to the two questions in the question and answer panel here in a moment. I want to go to Angela. She asks about the supplemental feeding. Is that pretty consistent throughout the year, or do you increase the amount of food that you provide during the nesting season?
Yeah, I can take this one. Yeah, it's pretty consistent throughout the year. We're putting supplemental food out every week at least one of our sites, usually two. If anything, if there are any increases, it would be around times when, like this time of year, we notice there can be more lead exposures, so we try to make a little more effort just to make sure there's more food out than maybe what we usually do. And then also just for San Simeon specifically, we'll put more food out when we just release the rookies to keep them around so that they have a food source. But yeah, I mean, I would say the supplemental feeding is very consistent. Yeah, we're putting food out every week.
I imagine if anything, it might also have to do with the supply of those calf carcasses that are donated by the local dairies, those stillborn calves, and maybe that's not necessarily consistent on a month-to-month basis. We take what we can get, right?
Yeah, we've been lucky so like that for a while it's been pretty consistent. We've had a pretty good supply. Again, it does ebb and flow a bit, but thankfully, yeah, it's the supply's definitely been keeping us full enough, stocked enough to keep up with our supplemental feedings.
Now, I've been with Ventana for 15 years, and I used to hear a lot about micro trash, and I still do. We have that neat micro trash art piece at the Discovery Center, but Joe, is this still a cause for injury and death in condors? Is it less of a factor now than it used to be? Where does it rank in terms of the condor threats?
Yeah, it actually ranks pretty low. We think it was a flock growth thing. It was a phase they went through. Some of these younger pairs, and it's pretty much just faded away for us here in Central California. I think Southern California definitely had a bigger issue early on. It was a much larger impact, and then they did some local cleanup efforts at some of these hot spots where birds were going to get micro trash. And again, we're talking like bottle caps, broken glass, shards of plastic that looked exactly like bone, you know, like shards of PVC. It was definitely a case of mistaken identity because condors are naturally out looking for sources of calcium, especially when they're nesting. So that part of it has just been, we've done local cleanups in Big Sur that have been really successful. Again, it's just been cleaning up around the areas where the condors hang out, and that's had a huge impact. So I would say now it's a pretty low risk as compared to, you know, stuff like I would even put power lines and, you know, above that, and lead, of course, is number one, lead poisoning.
Kara, why are all those condors on the left-hand side of the tree and none are on the right-hand side?
I have no idea, Mike. I don't know. I think it's just personal
Better
preference
view.
for the birds. Yeah, be better view. It might have been at just this moment that there were, you know, only birds on that side. They definitely use both sides. This is kind of like one of their favorite snags up at our sanctuary, and yeah.
So you see them there a lot. What makes that a good place for them?
I think just kind of the openness of the snag. It's kind of easy for them to come in and out. This is not the snag of the snag camera. This is kind of their secondary favorite snag now that that tree is kind of
Whittling away.
whittling away, to say nicely. But yeah, it's close to the feeding site. You get to watch the sunset. Yeah, they just kind of feel safe in that tree with each other, and yeah, got some good branches for them to kind of nuzzle up to for the night.
It's for those condors that want to be off camera.
Yeah.
Probably better to be the
Get out
ones
of the
at the
limelight.
top and not the ones near the bottom.
Correct.
Yeah, you
but
don't want to
Yeah.
be that guy perched on that bottom branch. You're on the receiving end of a lot of interesting stuff.
And you can tell who's on the who was perched lower than others in the
Yes.
morning.
I think Explorer viewers have started to notice the birds that are pure white. It's
It's not an albino condor. Yeah.
yeah, it's not. They just picked the wrong place to perch.
Yeah.
hey, Joe, a number of years ago, you made the decision, and perhaps after a number of water cooler discussions, the decision was made on Ventana's side not to do the nest entries anymore. Do you think the nest entries increase the risk of predation? And the person who asked this question had an interesting take, wondering if it might habituate the parents and chick to disturbances of the nest and then produce a slow reaction time when there's an actual predator. But just kind of curious about some of the trade-offs of nest entry. You want to protect the birds, you want to do good management, but you also don't want to disturb them. Could you go through some of that thought process in our strategy?
Yeah, I think the birds really told us it's, you know, like you said, it's trade-offs. There's a lot of risk, not only to the birds, but to us when we do these nest climbs. It takes a lot of effort and resources. And, you know, we've been talking all day about the lead poisoning. And as a project, we thought we could help. We knew the flock is producing at a level that they didn't need our help anymore. Early on, we didn't know what the situation was with eggshell thinning, and that was a big driver. Also, West Nile virus, how was that going to impact these chicks and not let them survive? But we found very quickly that the eggs were hatching. The West Nile was not having an impact. So that need to get in the nest and expend those extra resources, we felt as an organization would be better spent helping with the non-lead outreach, shifting gears and shifting those resources to that. When we know the birds are proof in the pudding, they're doing everything they can right. And again, if we saw issues arise again, something dramatic, we probably would start nest entries again. But you know, it's a lot of effort, and you know, the disturbance, condors fortunately tolerate a lot of disturbance at their nest. It's really unusual. But yeah, if we don't have to do it, you know, that's been our angle. It's only on a necessity type level, and we don't feel the necessities there. And again, Pinnacles manages that flock in the park a little differently, and they have different priorities. So, you know, again, it's really per group. And for us, we really just want to put as much resource as we all keep talking about into the, you know, getting past this lead issue. I mean, it's paramount to everything we do. You know, I think it trumps everything in terms of importance. And, you know, obviously the work you're doing, you and Derek are doing, is just really, really critical.
And I think it's fantastic that these birds are doing the right things. They are nesting successfully on their own, and this decision is really sort of a testament to our confidence in the birds to be able to pull this off. And we're seeing really the dividends of that, this year with the number of nests.
Yeah, we rather, and that's where like the cams we're really excited about, because not only do they help us and confirm that things are going fine with nesting, but they also bring the viewers in, the outreach side of it, and get people into the world of the condor. So there's definitely trade-offs, but I prefer to kind of step back and monitor, and if we see something alarming, like an alarming trend, obviously we would step in.
Have you ever used drones to monitor a nest or for any management purpose whatsoever? And is that something you would consider using for, one of these remote nests?
Yeah, we've explored it. There's just a lot of restrictions where these condors are nesting. So there's just a lot of flight restrictions, and there's hazards as well with drones. If you were to collide into a condor, which are highly protected endangered species, that wouldn't be good. So yeah, there's risk involved, and then there's just a lot of limitations on what we can do in these areas. They're pristine wilderness areas that are protected, basically protected wilderness, and they don't permit drone flights. So that's always a big limiting factor. And again, just that risk of flying a drone near a nest, you would hate to think that a drone potentially impacted a nest, caused it to fail. So again, back to what we talked about, there's trade-offs with nest monitoring and using the other technologies we have, GPS transmitters and radio transmitters, to help us figure out what's going on with these nests. It's actually really as telling as almost seeing the nest itself, some of the data we get on these transmitters, and just seeing how the pairs are working around these nest sites.
Thank you so much for your questions, and Joe and the crew, thank you so much for the update. I look forward to our next Condor chat. I believe it's August the 29th.
There you
And
go,
we
right on
look
cue,
forward to
buddy.
seeing
Got
you
queued up,
again
Mike.
at 4 o'clock. Joe, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Darren. Thanks, Kara. Thank all of you for joining us again. And yeah, we look forward to the next Condor chat. We're gonna get Meredith on here, and she's gonna have some exciting new footage, and she's gonna explain it from her perspective as a cinematographer and videographer. It's gonna be pretty cool to hear. Yeah, because she's definitely been learning a lot of lessons, learning about condor time, as Kara was touching on earlier. But we're excited. We're hoping she had a good day today, and by next chat, she might have a lot of great footage. But yeah, thank you, everyone. And again, Mike, you posted those addresses if people want to write to Norma and CCI, so they have that. Yeah, until next time, everyone. Thank you so much. Signing off.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.
Bye, guys.